Welcome back.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Margins Podcast, where we talk about books.
We do talk about books, the ones that start our conversation.
You son of a bitch. It says it right there. It leaves a mark, starts a conversation, and stays with you long after the
That's
last
exactly
page.
what we said. That's exactly what I said.
You know what? Inception. You're right.
Yeah.
It's right. We're in season 2, man.
Season 2, episode 4.
Episode 4. Guys, you thought we want to make it. You doubted us. No, you didn't. You've been super supportive, and we love you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about there's so much of, and I will say it's mainly our not our counterparts, but our peers, our it's men's mental health awareness, so why not?
Yeah.
But so many of like, I work in the dark. So, like the whole, like, the world's against me.
Yeah.
You think the world's against us? In some ways, I get that. I get it.
We spoke about this. We spoke around this before. I think that the universe is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's
unforgiving.
It's unforgiving.
Indifferent.
It's indifferent.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that we're working in a space where there's billions of people, right, in this world. So it's indifferent to your plight and to your goals. So it can feel like the world's working against you.
I get that. Do you feel like it's a little bit like, you and I have talked about this too, about you only see what you, not attract, but like once you notice something or you feel a certain way, it might be more of a comparison bias or like,
yeah, for sure.
I always love those, our fellow comrades that will post, world's against me, my guy, but I stay grinding.
Yeah, I mean it's motivation.
Yeah, as long as it gets you there.
However you need, however you can get that push. You have to feel like the world's against you. Cool.
True. All right. Well, shall we hear a little bit of a hook?
Let's go for the hook.
All right. Sometimes the scariest stories aren't about monsters, murders, or apocalypse. Sometimes the scariest story is realizing the person closest to you has become someone you no longer recognize. Strangers is not fiction. It's a memoir about marriage, betrayal, motherhood, money, memory, and the terrifying collapse of certainty. It asks the brutal question, how well do we ever truly know the people we build our lives with? This week, we are covering Strangers by Belle Burden. No pop culture references this week. Nothing. No joke.
No, straight memoir.
Straight memoir. Guys, this is a first for us.
Yeah, I think it's our first memoir.
It is absolutely our first memoir. Unless we count Twilight. We still haven't covered that.
I think the closest thing we've done is Casey's book.
Oh, absolutely. That's good.
That's the closest one.
I was going to say The Women.
Oh,
because it's like
historical fiction.
Yeah. But Casey, that is fair.
Right.
Casey Fritz.
Yes.
Yeah, right there. Fig for all the devils.
Yep.
That is true. But yeah, before we get it too deep into that, how you doing? Try to keep the profanity a little bit low.
Yeah.
Children.
We'll chill. That little engine that could.
I love that.
A little engine that could.
I see you, Thomas. I see you.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I feel his plight, and I'm motivated. I'm motivated by him.
You working in the dark?
Working in the dark.
chugging along.
What about you? How's it going?
I feel like I mean, preaching to the choir, but I mean, to be honest, and everything's relevant. Yeah, I feel like I haven't been able to catch my breath with thing after thing. And I know we've talked about this before, and I know that as we get older, it's not, you come to the realization that, there's not, summers go away.
Yes.
Yes. Summer, I'm talking about summer vacation or, where school's out. So this is where I get to, it's carefree.
Yeah.
Carefree time is long gone.
It's long gone.
It's been out the window for a minute.
Get that deep breath of air, like
no,
or you're just grinding. You just got to make it through the summer. Grades might not be where you want them at. You might have had a hard year, and with your parents, with your family, whatever. And then summer hits, and it's like a new life.
Yeah, you're gone. You're out the door. You're especially for us that like spent our summers hanging out with friends and staying at their places, always out.
Yes, outside.
That and I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but just realistically, it's just something that as you get older, you're like, oh, no, you stay working.
You gotta stay locked in.
Yeah. You gotta stay locked in. You gotta burn the ships in the harbor, man. But yeah, that's I think coming back to square one, kind of grounding myself. That's what I continually have to do, or really write down the list and start one by one knocking them out, so that I don't think of it as such a huge entity that I have to overcome or a huge obstacle.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it is. Just trying to breathe. You get it. Breathing is
who needs to breathe?
Yeah.
Who needs a break?
That sounds like a privilege. Ew. I don't need that. I don't need that. What are you reading?
When the Moon Hatched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Also, the new Dungeon Carl.
Still on that as well.
Still reading that. Man, I feel like there's one more book that I just started. Those are like the main two, though. I really would like to get through them in the next week or so. We'll see.
I just started the Buffalo Hunter.
Okay. How was that? You just started?
Literally just started in the first chapter, enjoying it. Did not realize that Marin Ireland is one of the, I think there's 2, possibly 3 narrators in it. And Marin is the sole narrator for the Beartown series. So I love her voice.
Yeah.
Very, very much so. And I believe she may have also done The Women. I think she did that as well.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Because I think I remember hearing her say, Frankie and everything. And I think she does a ton of books. She's highly regarded. And for that reason, I'm excited to get deeper into this book.
Yes.
But yeah, I knocked out that. And then obviously we did John of John last week.
Yep. We
have this book this week. So that's what I've been reading.
Yeah. Strangers. Awesome. In terms of recent movies, you probably haven't got to the movies. Anything, TV shows? You haven't been watching the TV show? Love Island?
No, I don't do that. But I do. We did just finish pop culture Jeopardy.
Okay, that sounds fun.
We do love it. It was on Prime last year. This is not a plug. This is not a sponsorship. Unless you want to sponsor us. But Rachel loves it. I love it too. We love Celebrity Jeopardy. We just don't like normal Jeopardy because I don't like feeling that dumb. But pop culture Jeopardy, oh man, that is
killing it.
Rachel got so mad at me this season because she wanted me to. She found out when the auditions were, and she's like, "You have to do it."
Yeah.
Because I'll be like washing dishes and be like, blah blah blah. The first name that came to mind, I don't know why I was gonna say it, but I was like Kanye. But I was like, why is that? Why would that be the answer? I mean, it could be an answer,
right?
College dropout, whatever. But yeah, she kept saying you need an audition, and you know who I thought of for my partner? Wasn't you?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. We don't need Christiana. We don't need an explanation of what they look like. We just need the name. Was Lauren. Lauren's killer.
She would kill it.
Yeah.
Lauren McKenzie. Lauren and McKenzie.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
They just changed the teams from on Prime it was 3, and then on this season it's 2. So I was like, yeah, I even told her. I was like, that is the highest compliment that I can give you.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that I would partner up on you.
Random shit too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she's one of the people that I can say a random like old meme or skit from the internet, and she knows exactly
instantly.
Yeah.
She
outclasses me sometimes with it too. So
that's fair. It's a good choice.
Yeah, that's about it.
Don't bring me the shit.
No, I won't.
You can. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'm pretty decent.
I'd bring you on like Family Feud.
I'd be good.
Yeah. If I knew the things were anime, I'd bring you.
Yeah.
Because I've watched people fail with those left and right on pop culture Jeopardy, but yeah.
All right. You want to jump into
our favorite new segment? Yes, sir. Margins Bulletin. What's on the bulletin board this week? BookTok is becoming corporate.
They're going corporate?
A little bit corporate.
Fucking
Why?
sellouts.
What do we mean by that? Many longtime BookTok users are starting to feel that the space is shifting away from organic reader enthusiasm and toward sponsored content, publisher influence, and algorithm-driven sameness. There's a lot of, I've noticed while I scroll that, you know, you get more and more of the, at least they alert you saying that hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored, paid partnership,
sponsored ad. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always like, I mean, I'm always quick to scroll past it, but I get it, get money, you know. Why would I'm not hating on that at all, especially when we have, you know, great content creators, people that we like. Books Are Sick, Smitty, we have a ton that we follow.
Yeah.
To ramble, but. So when those opportunities come along, why wouldn't you take them?
Yeah.
The issue I think that's happening is that a lot of the feed, I feel like TikTok is now going after, or these sponsors are going after, a lower threshold of those or what would be an influencer.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing a lot more of it.
Well, they want to. Here's the thing. In general, I'm not sure if the correct book to reference is Manufacturer Consent. If it is, check it out. But basically, like, you know, for all of our lives, telecommunications has been ran by the same companies, right? Mm-hmm. And most large industry has the same issue. And over time, basically, they end up just saturating the market. And so for example, you might drink, I don't know, Sprite and Coke, but they're owned by the same company.
Yeah.
Right? And so you might think that you're making an actual choice. Or an informed choice, but in actuality, no. And it's you know, same thing here, because the power really shifted from it's shifting from traditional media to where you have all these spaces like podcasts and you know, BookTok platforms and whatever, you name it, whatever. People have so many different ways to access information, and it's like decentralized now. And so in order to like kind of re-centralize it or not lose their footing, I should say, this is the way, right? So you lower that threshold. You're not just going after the top 1%. You might do the top 5% or 10%, whatever the case may be. The people who are buzzing, and now they're all under that umbrella. And not only does it keep pushing them to the top, and the people that you want to the top, it creates a nice barrier between them and the people, the thousands or millions of people who are also trying to bubble up in that system.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. I don't ever want to, you know, back in the day, and so, I mean, still now to this day, the term sellout has been always used when someone, good or
bad.
Yeah, good or bad.
Yeah.
The issue, when you talk about oversaturation, you notice that if your PR team, whether it be a book, whether it be an actor, it happens a lot with actors from my point of view of when you see them on talk shows where PR has definitely, you know, there's a junket going on, so they push you on all these different podcasts, and you listen to all of them, you're like, oh, he's on this one, and this one this week. It's the same story over and over. Same press run. Yeah, same press run. I do like when it's the PR team is strategic enough to be like, okay, we'll do this one, and we'll do this one, and we'll space them out so that it's not like all in your face.
Yeah.
For example, love Walton Goggins.
Yes.
He is amazing. I'm so glad he's getting his shine because he's been around for so long.
Yeah.
On so many things. Django. Loved him. Love him. And then when White Lotus came around, he had a shining moment. And his PR team's the only one that I'm like, guys, draw it back a little bit. Because he's been in literally
everything.
Every ad.
Everything, everywhere.
Am I upset about it at all? No, because I hope his pockets are getting lined as they should be getting. Yeah. But I'm just like, try to be strategic about it, you know?
Yeah,
that's
for
my
sure.
only thought about it. The many thoughts I just gave about it.
Author burnout?
Yeah, author burnout.
All right, so guys, author burnout is becoming impossible to ignore.
Mm-hmm.
More authors and editors are openly talking about the burnout caused by aggressive release schedules, nonstop marketing demands, and constant pressure to maintain an online presence. We actually spoke about this in our season finale.
We did with Kayala.
Yep, and Britt.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was also a topic on a few of the panels at the LA Book Festival, right? So we went to a lot of, and one of the number one things everyone's talking about is like, it's a grind.
It's real.
A grind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it's funny because I get it. It's work, and you have to be able to, even though it's a creative process, you do have to have deadlines in order to, make sure that the work is moving along. So we don't, I won't throw his name. Yeah, so you don't run into like Patrick Rothfuss again, Rothfuss and not have the book come out. Patrick's still going to be calling you out.
until he releases it.
Yeah. Now I'm getting angry about it. But it is tough to put a deadline on creativity. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad, but now talking to these our friends that are now that are authors, and these people that we've met, you do hear it's so much like, oh, I can't do that event now because my deadline.
Yeah, literally
it's my deadline.
They'll release a book, go on a press tour, do all these interviews, start the new project before they even finish this one, right? Because release schedules and you have the public pressure as well, wanting new content, right? Like, when's the next one coming out? And now I'm not sure if this is in effect because of streaming, where now people want things quick. Like if you're waiting on a creative project, if it takes longer than 10 months to a year, people feel like that's a long time now. You know what I mean? And I'm always amazed at people who put out great products in such a quick turnaround. Matt Denneman is one of them, right?
Oh yeah,
pumps out books, bro. Like, and I'm like, man, like, but the work is still. It doesn't, there's no negatives, right? Like, he's able to do it, so amazing. But yeah,
the only AI use in that is the character in the book.
The book,
yeah, it's the character in the book. Yeah, I feel you on that.
All right. Number three.
Books are becoming travel destinations. Books are increasingly influencing where people travel and how they spend their money, and even shape their identity. Seen a ton of this. Not only are we like traveling where Pride and Prejudice, the book and then also the movies, but where Pride and Prejudice was shot, or where, specific parts of, whether it be Hogwarts.
I want to say blame Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. Traveling, Rachel's been to that cafe where she saw the graveyard where you see some of the names, and then so there's that aspect of it, and then there's also now it also includes the fact of like these bookstores. People are coming to LA to see The Last Bookstore, or Los Angeles Times Festival of Books. These events are getting bigger and bigger. And now before we had Comic-Con, and we see, Dinneman's going to San Diego Comic-Con this year. I think more so because of Seth MacFarlane. I think he could have gone far before, sure, long before the show.
Yeah.
But now these book cons are becoming like main events, whereas before, like you would hear about them and be like, oh yeah, they're gonna be in Hall C. With those guys, but now it's very much a prime example, and like causing people to drop the money, fly, make an event out of it, meet these authors. So yeah, I definitely have seen that more and more.
Yeah, all for it. Yeah,
we need more live events. We will have more live events.
We're gonna be a part of those live events.
We better be. Should we do number 4?
Yeah, let's do number 4. So more authors are leaving traditional social media. A growing number of authors are stepping away from platforms like X, Instagram, and TikTok in favor of Substack, Patreon, Reddit, newsletters, and private communities. I agree with this. Actually, I like this because I like the decentralization of anything, to be honest, and not so much because it like, sticking it to the man or whatever the fuck.
I want to disrupt.
It's just like access it's always been very important to me, and put an asterisk by that. That was actually a huge part of my dissertation in college, was how access to media will be this huge push to pull people out of poverty. Just got made in myself, guys. But so I'm all for this stuff, right? Like, and I do think that it's important to, because it helps them become a part of the zeitgeist, right? So I'm all for it. You know, small authors, large authors, whatever the case may be. I think even just creators in the space. Like, for us, I want us to do more in that space too. Right?
Yeah, I'd love to get our Substack and Patreon rolling at some point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it kind of it circles back on what you said earlier about, like, you know, if I to give an example to what we said earlier about, like, the crazy deadlines, you know, a lot of those crazy deadlines come with, like, doing, like, these projects that have IP or whatever, right? Like, so it's like, you know, if I'm signing a deal with, I don't know, Penguin Random House, and I'm writing a story about XYZ, name, you know, whatever, name a story, it's huge. I'm on their timeline.
Yeah.
But I have to be, because they're paying me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it comes with the check,
marketing, and I'm gonna be a New York Times bestseller, most likely. You know what I mean? Like, so it comes with the territory, and this is like for authors, by authors, kind of, when you go to like Substack, Patreon, stuff like that, and this really helps. It's a part of the reason why some people feel like they can't be canceled, for example, because they feel like, oh, I'm no longer centralized. All my cash flow and views aren't coming from this one thing.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, YouTube is pivotal. TikTok is pivotal. Reddit is pivotal. Like, all these things are super important.
I agree. All right, what's our last one? Number 5. Publishers are betting on big deluxe editions. Sprayed edges, foil covers, exclusive art, and collector editions are becoming a major business strategy. Bro, it's not just Saturday mornings where we're waiting for those 5s to come out. It has now become
sleeping
on the curb, waiting for that new box.
Yes.
It's like Jordan's on a Saturday. You know?
My gosh, I don't miss those days at all.
Now it's books, and like we have our special editions.
Yes.
We are not. We are part of the problem.
I say we're definitely part of the problem.
We are part of the problem. Did we want the artists and I can't remember the other edition that Pierce did with those, like, $2,000 version of Red Rising?
Yes.
My God, it is the same words. It is the same words on that copy as it is the paper.
Over and over.
But if I had the money, you know I would have it.
Exactly.
You know I would have it on there. So I get it. And I guess my frustration, and also I'm cool with it. I'm not actually upset. But I see a cool edition, and then a couple months later, oh, we're now working with this company. So we hear, you know, Lit Escalates has been a solid one. They did a lot of the Red Rising ones with Pierce. They've worked with Joe Abercrombie, and now they just signed something with Matt Dittman. We're waiting to see what comes out with that.
Yep.
But
it's like every few months there's going to be a new collector's or a deluxe or whatever, and you know, it's not just, I mean, it's everyone. Like, if you go to Barnes and Nobles, they have a whole section, and it's like, oh, we have these new deluxe hardcover, you know, $75 editions. I'm not gonna lie, I almost bought Jurassic Park. It's gorgeous. Like, the deluxe edition looks amazing. And then have just like a whole section of these, right? And it's like, oh, let's just put out these classics, and there's like a bunch of classics that are, you know, so I sent one to you. That wasn't even a hardcover one, right? So it's like, it's collectible now. It
is because not only is your I don't know if it's just the publisher that is organizing this, but you will have, like you said, the Barnes and Noble edition.
Yeah.
I remember for Tomorrow, they had a really sick version where I think it was blue edges. And when we did it for Bricked Up Book Club, we were trying to get that one. It was a whole thing. But Barnes and Noble, there will be a Barnes and Noble edition. When Kayla was here, she talked about how Target had their special edition of, I think, both How Far I'll Go and That Which Feeds Us. And then Walmart. I just saw Maurice, the author of Cello's Gate, that we will be covering sometime this season, Sky Pirates, is doing a special edition at Walmart, and it's a really sick edition. So yeah, I am loving the different options that we're gonna have. My bank account just doesn't. It's like,
not gonna lie,
you're hurting me.
We gotta get a sponsor.
Please.
And if our sponsor just provides us with deluxe editions, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You know? But Yeah, I agree.
Maybe do some feet pics.
What can we do?
Maybe.
At what point does book collecting become separate from reading? I mean, we're already at that point.
We are at that point.
We're at that point. Like,
Yeah.
And to be fair, I think that all this did, it's now like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not cool now, but like, we were already at this point because people would do book hauls, or even for myself, I don't do book hauls, but I would buy books so frequently that it would just end up on my shelf.
Oh yeah,
right?
I remember you had it. Yeah.
Right. And so it'll take me time or never to get to them. So I'm just getting books beyond reading.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's just like it's mainstream. And so there's, I don't know the word, that's the phrase I'm looking for, but like the deluxe covers and stuff, they add like an edge to it. They add, they put a face on it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Rachel actually took note of me saying something, which was, I mean, she takes note of everything I say, just to be clarified. Don't kill me. But she took note of the fact that I have been a little bit more intentional about what books I buy, and I won't buy it until I have read it. And I mean, I'm talking about once I love a book, it doesn't have to be the special edition. It can be just whatever edition, but I'm not always going to keep the books that I buy. A lot of times will gift them or put them in the free little library.
Yeah.
But when I love a book, I do want to have it on my shelf. So for Father's Day, she got me the first Dungeon Crawler Carl, because she knew I had the Inevitable Ruin, signed by Matt Dinman, gifted by my buddy Jeremy. But she went ahead and got me the first book of Dungeon Crawler so that I could see it and have it on my shelf.
Awesome.
And, at some point, if I do want to gift it or loan it to someone, I have it available.
Right.
So yeah.
It's definitely a loner.
Yeah.
It's a loner.
Absolutely. Right. Bring around the loner.
Yeah, the loner. All right. Get on to that author spotlight.
We are now getting into strangers.
Yes.
Our author is Belle Burden. She's a writer and memoirist.
Yeah.
Interesting, if you read the book, she wasn't always either of these.
No.
She actually was a lawyer. Did a lot of pro bono. She worked a lot in...
What was it? Corporate law.
Corporate law.
Yeah.
Initially. And then later on worked specifically with helping those with visa status, undocumented citizens, and helping them get citizenship. She did love writing.
Yes, always.
But
yeah,
a voice got to her early on. Mm-hmm. And that was someone in her class said, "You're not that good." And she ran from it.
Yeah, sticks with you.
Yeah, it happens to all of us. I love the example of, when we were kids, teacher asks, "Who can sing?" All hands go up.
Right.
Who can dance?
Everyone.
All hands go up.
Yeah.
You wait, just a couple of years and someone asks that again, and timid look around, way less hands.
Hell yeah.
Almost no one.
Yeah.
And I think
public sentiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crushing.
Yeah, for sure.
That I am being pessimistic.
It
I'm being real about that. Yeah.
Disciplines you in like a mathematical way where the discipline creates the shape that you become.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse.
So Strangers is her debut memoir.
It is.
What a book, right? Mm-hmm. But honestly, what I appreciated about it was that, I guess we just came off of a marathon of reading novels. This, with Memoirs, this being our first memoir, one thing I want to say, it just felt a more simple story. Mm-hmm. You don't have to spend time doing the world building or anything like that. This is a completely person-driven story, and it's personal to them. You can obviously tell through the writing. So that's like a couple of thoughts that I had very early on when I was reading.
The simplicity of it.
Yes, I'm enjoying how simple this read is.
Yeah. I do love that. This memoir grew from her viral modern love essay. Did you ever? I was about to make an assumption. I'll open that up. Did you ever watch Modern Love, the series on Prime? I actually really did enjoy it. A number of different stories. I didn't realize it was a New York Times article originally, but people would write in, they would share their stories. Prime, I think, ended up picking it up, and we had a lot of great actors do short stories or short films, whatever you want to call it, episodes, I know that Dev Patel did a killer one that is like a TikTok sound. Did you just kiss him? No, I slept with him. Oh, that isn't love. It's a great one. Maybe I'll cut it in. Anne Hathaway did a great one too. I think about postpartum, or no, it was purely just about depression. But anyway, Belle's essay got a lot of traction on there, which she explains in the book.
Yeah.
And which drove her to stop listening to that voice that she heard when she was younger and get back into writing and expand on that essay and make it into this memoir. Strangers expands the emotional core into a broader story about betrayal, motherhood, money, memory, and survival. This book became a New York Times bestseller and sparked widespread conversation, which is why we're here today.
This is exactly why
we're adding to that conversation.
We hope to add something new.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Microsynopsis?
All right. So Strangers begins with a sudden collapse of Belle Burden's marriage after years of partnership, motherhood, shared life. Her husband tells her he wants a divorce, like right now.
Immediately.
And so soon after, she learns about betrayal and she begins a painful process of re-examining the life she thought she understood. As her marriage unravels, Belle is forced to confront questions about trust, money, dependency, motherhood, selfhood. This memoir becomes less about one marriage ending and more about what happens when your understanding of reality breaks apart.
Mm-hmm. Guys, what I will say about this at this point, we'll probably go into deep dive too. When it says that it was all of a sudden, talk about best timing ever, 2020. Literally during the pandemic. They are in the height of the start of it, actually. The start of it. But they are in the, should we clean off our grocery bags when they come here? They're living on Martha's Vineyard, which I didn't know was an island. That was new to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I don't have that money. But
they're living where Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Obama says that.
Nice community. And this happened. She gets a call randomly after dinner, right after dinner. Just had a great dinner with her two of her kids, one of them staying in a friend's house.
Yep.
And it's from a random number, and the call goes, "Hey, I don't know you, but your husband is having an affair with my wife." And she's like, "Oh, you must be mistaken." He's like, "No, it's actually what the case is. Also, my wife is on the way to the hospital because she self-harmed." And so Belle still thinking that it's not a big deal, or not a big deal. It's that it's not real. It's definitely a big deal. Goes to confront her husband, who ghost face, definitely delivering the fact that, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And instantly was apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Does he keep that face going?
No. And I think that she writes that way on purpose. So like the reader understands that it's not that he's evil. It's that he's lost. Right? Which made him very callous to the things that she thought that they both shared. Like, the love between them, the love for the family, etc. Not saying that she never says that he doesn't love them, because he does, but she thought that they shared. That's one of the things that they did share, was the way they showed that love, and showed up for that love. And so that's like the very first divide. Yeah, right there.
Yeah, which will make you. And another detail: 20 years of marriage, 3 kids.
Yeah,
3 kids, 20 years of marriage. She is the young age of 50, because the reason I remember that right off the bat is because he said, "You're still young, you'll find someone else," and her response in her mind was, "I was 50.
Yeah, I'm 50, bro.
I'm 50, my guy."
Yeah,
which is still the new 30, because we're like,
so shut up.
Anyway, we will get into more of it during the deep dive.
Yes.
But just so that you guys had some bearing, of what the bones are in this. But before we go any further, let's get to them 5 hard questions.
Hard questions. Let's do it.
There's these ones are
tough.
they came to fight.
Okay. Well,
not for us to fight.
But I say for us, we're
no.
We should be. We're good.
We'll be good.
We're fine.
Unless you're starting a podcast with someone else.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm 50, bro.
50, bro. All right. One of the most unsettling parts of this memoir is watching Belle revisit years of marriage, searching for signs that she may have missed all along. But beneath that search is something even more painful, the desperate need to understand why. Not only what happened, but what changed, when it changed, and whether there was a moment where things could have gone differently. Sometimes closure feels tied to an explanation, to cause, to catalyst, to being to the point, to something, and say, this is where everything broke. Huh. Guys, that last sentence didn't even make any sense. It also was a long ass lead up to this. Why do people often feel compelled to re-examine the entire past after a relationship ends? Is the search for truth what brings closure, or can the need for answers keep us trapped in the pain?
Good question. Is the search for truth what brings closure, or can the need for answers keep us trapped in pain? Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes.
I agree.
Yes.
I think yes and yes. I think if you get lost in one, it will keep you from the other.
Yeah, you want to stay away from ruminating,
yes,
right? Or you just start to, the thoughts start to stagnate.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it is very important to interact, engage, and exist within those thoughts for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because then your mind can try to wrap itself around it. It won't when you're in it. But once you're past it, at least you've had that experience rather than having to keep reliving that trauma or whatever it was.
True. All right, question number 2.
All right, 2. One of the most heartbreaking layers of this memoir is that Belle is not only navigating betrayal and loss as a wife, but also as a mother, trying to protect 3 children while her own world is collapsing. How do parents decide what to shield their children from and what truths eventually need to be shared?
I was thinking about this again yesterday. Am I going to tell Max about Santa? And how am I going to tell him about Santa? Does it have the same gravity as, hey, mom and dad are taking a break? No. But I do wonder, about the white lies or the stories or how you present any story to the kid because they're so malleable, So I can only imagine what this would take, because she did a great job throughout from the memoir. Again, this is memoir, so we can only take one side. We get that.
Yeah.
But she made the attempt and was earnest about making sure she followed the unspoken rule of don't badmouth your ex or your partner during a divorce in front of your kids specifically.
Yes, for sure.
Specifically to your kids.
Yes.
Everyone else, both.
Right. And she even states in the book that she also didn't want to affect their perception of their father, and their relationship, right? Which I think is admirable,
absolutely,
right? Because you're also going through your own pain, and
it'd be really easy to be like, oh, I can find camaraderie in this. We could team up against him.
I actually think it's probably more likely for there to be that than for someone to, I won't say sacrifice, but. I think we all have a little bit of, there's like a vindictive streak in everyone, especially for people. If you're vindictive by nature, of course you have it in you. A little mean streak, of course you have it in you. But for those people who are good all the time, it sits under there like I can lean into it, and I deserve to lean into it, right? And so that's why I do think that it's more often than not where you probably find that, You know, maybe not forever, but for a short period of time, they not just push that pain off onto the kids, they share it with the kids. And that changes the point of view and the relationship.
Whether you do it, whether you're aware of it or you're subconsciously doing it, because you can definitely do it subconsciously. Whether it be micro expressions or the way you express how you feel about them seeing, you know, dad or their mom or whoever it may be, you know?
And they just see, sometimes it's just them noticing how you changed, how you address them, right? Like you become callous and short and, you know, that they see that.
Her daughter her daughter, Belle, was like, I just thought my daughter got really into cooking. I thought that was like a new thing of hers, a new hobby. When realistically, she came to find out she was doing it to make sure her mom was eating.
Right.
Which, of course, I was just like, my gosh.
Yeah.
Kids are the best. I love my son. Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a tough choice to choose what to shield your kids from and what you want them to be exposed to, especially because you don't want to be too overprotective, right? Because some things they're going to experience anyway, and you would rather the ability to walk them through this or talk them through this. It also, honestly, you got to understand what you're going through and all, and you know, just to be a little bit more specific, like when Neri's granddad passed away, they're very close, right? So, you know, and there was a small talk that we had about like, man, should we have Neri go to the funeral? Neri's a very emotional kid, like very emotional. She's been like that since she was a baby, and she just never. We were out of it. She grew into it, to be completely honest. And so we're like, you know, she's pretty young. We don't know how this is gonna carry with her, you know. And you know, she's seen him go from in health to being very sick, you know, that we would always visit him and stuff. We're like, you know, how about this? We'll go have her at the viewing so she can see him, say bye, stuff like that. Probably not the funeral because it's just so much emotions and Neri will pick up on it. You got all these adults here crying, screaming, doing all the things. Let's not expose her to that. Let her say her byes individually, you know, as a, you know, small family, one-to-one, and then deal with it internally rather than expose her to all the emotion that comes with having 100 different adults push that off on you. So you have to understand the situation, understand your children, what they can handle, what they can't handle, what you think they can, I should say. And for you, what you think you can handle in terms of being able to explain and walk them through that. So I think everyone's gonna have a different line here.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's super informative on that.
Question three.
One of the most striking conversations surrounding this memoir has been about money, power, and financial vulnerability inside relationships. Why do financial imbalances in relationships often remain invisible until something goes wrong?
It's exactly like this book. Like, it doesn't matter until things are going wrong, right? Like, when things are going well, no one cares about why or how or when. It's just
the dependency isn't a factor at that point. Like, you don't worry about we're splitting. And specifically with this, where she was like, I didn't, you know, I signed the things because in my mind, we were forever. We were forever. So who cares whose name's on what? I wasn't going to be double checking his work on the taxes.
Right.
I covered this. He covered that, which in marriage, that is how a lot of things. There's plenty of people that say, oh, I've got finances. You've got this.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And
I think there's comfortability in that for multiple reasons. I mean, it's not groundbreaking there. It's comfortability because that's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the it's one of the reasons why a lot of people get married.
Yeah.
In general.
Absolutely.
Is that you now combined, you know, finances and structure and everything to the point to where you have to worry about these things less than an individual. One thing I will say, I don't know if it adds to this much, but I've spoken to like a lot of people on both sides of this where they've been married for a long time and there's just one finance pool. And I've also spoken to a lot of people who successfully navigated having separate finance pools.
Separate, yeah.
And that works just as well. I think the big thing here is the focus of this question and in real life is like, well, this is real life as a memoir, communication, right? Communication. Like, even if you're not 100% interested, it's okay, or you don't think it's that important, it's okay to have those conversations still. Like, I'm big on this. Like, now I will tell you, I want to fucking talk about things because I don't want to wait till the eventuality happens and I'm just sitting there, you know, like everyone's asked out. At least have the discussion so it's already, you guys have already broached this, the ground has been broken. So even if it's not a path that's well trodden, oh well. Like, at least
we gotta go.
ground.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
We've got to walk it.
Yep.
Because otherwise, especially in those circumstances, whether it's a divorce or a death or anything, you hear so many. I don't know the password. He had all the logins. She knew where that was kept. You know. Yeah, not perfect at that. Definitely not perfect at that. But that's definitely something not always as you get older, but as you mature, you're like, we gotta have that conversation.
For sure. There's it's at the end of the book, but for me, like, one of my favorite parts of the book was when she really doubles down on that. And it probably went over a lot of people's heads that read it. Excuse me. Because it's about the small moments where I think she's talking about what she hopes her kids learn from this and get from this is that whoever they get with, whoever they have the relationships with, whether it's high, low, whatever happens, they understand that it's important to have these talks. Talk about finances, talk about love. Even if you're not interested, be there in all ways, as any way that you can. And don't worry about, the negative that could happen or may happen. I think one of the messages that she was really trying to get across is just being present with that partner, whatever that means. And so for them, it was kind of astonishing for me to read, like, man, you guys come from money. Like, you guys have a lot of bread, bro.
It was nice to see. Oh, that's how they live. Yes. Oh, even you with that amount are having conversations that I should be having or have had.
Right.
No matter what amount is in the account, you know?
Yep. So that's why I'm like, man, you guys aren't talking about money. You got so much of it. You should definitely talk about money.
It should be like, hey, money, right? You know what I mean? But it was just a complete, no, he handles that. I trust him.
Right. All right. Question number 4.
Numero 4.
One of the more fascinating and painful parts of Strangers is realizing that when trust is broken in a relationship, the damage rarely stays contained between two people. The collapse ripples outwards into friends, families, communities, social circles, forcing everyone around it to recalibrate. When betrayal or heartbreak happens in a relationship, when a betrayal or heartbreak happens in a relationship we thought was stable, why does it often cause us to re-examine not only the people involved, but our own relationships and the people around us?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know. So, speaking from experience, and that's where I'll leave it. When you see, whether it be, it happens a ton in celebrities. I almost always say it's a mark of death for a relationship whenever, say, People Magazine or some TikTok, like large, from one of these magazines, again, probably one of these conglomerates that say, like, they are the it couple. I'm like, I call it 2 to 3 months, because either their PR team's trying to save that relationship, which I wouldn't have thought about years before knowing the industry.
Yeah.
Or that pressure is now causing them to crack. I could use examples, but I'm not going to put anyone in the mud as far as celebrities go.
Right.
And you feel the ripples there. But when it's someone you know, when it's whether it's family, which I've experienced, whether it's friends who are like family, which I've also experienced. It does. It makes you, it kind of shakes your world. It absolutely shakes your world, and then shakes your understanding or the optics you have of your current relationships. And I'm not saying with just your spouse, but also your friendships.
Yeah. Who gets to keep the dog?
Yeah. Who gets to keep the dog? Where do we draw the line between which, are we choosing sides? How do we manage that? When it came to like family, there's times where I was like, oh man, I've known this person for as long as they were with, my family member. Was that love real towards me? And not to make it about me, but it's hard not hard not to, but it's hard not to then, change the lens to that, because obviously you're dealing with the emotions of that, but then you question everything.
Yeah.
And to also pull from, I guess, the good side of it, if you can find the silver lining, it also makes you kind of cherish or realize how great you have it. And that's how I've been kind of looking at it, is where I'm like, I thought, this was a sure thing or that was a sure thing. And I'm not ever going to, I'm not trying to jinx nothing always,
Yeah, for sure.
But it makes me look in and be like, oh, I'm so grateful for, my partner, for my wife, for our communication, and makes you be like, well, I better be up on that.
Yeah,
I better make sure, that bill is paid, in the sense of communication and going back and forth and having, those conversations.
Definitely. One thing that I thought about where you're just talking, and I guess I thought about it when I was reading it as well, but I really appreciate her thought process, because the real silver lining in this is that, and this goes for anyone who's dealt with something like this, where you have to split the friends, split the family, split the dog, split the whatever, right? Breakups happen. It's super important to be present and understand that happened. Like, and, maybe this happens after you get, your frustrations out and things, the dust settles a little bit, but to understand, like, oh, they were there and they were a big part of everyone's life, and that love was real. That relationship was real. Whatever changed, it might have been over time, might have been all of a sudden. That's not, to be fair, that's not even we're not the first, we're not the main character in that person's life. So all we can say is hold on to those moments and just be very present and like appreciate that. And Belle talks about that.
I love that part.
Right. So that's huge.
Yeah. She talks about she was asked, are you going to keep your wedding album?
Right.
What about all the old photos, the videos, and kind of talk about, or kind of relating back to our first question about, when do you re-examine everything to see where, definitely, I understand that early on you might want to re-examine everything to see if there was a possible outcome, like a different variant, different timeline that could have occurred. But I do love her take at the end of it, which was, why spend any more time doing that? I know that we made memories with him. I love those memories, obviously, all the way up until the point that we stopped making them.
Yeah.
So we don't have to burn, throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right. It's super important though, because especially when you've been, you're married for 20 years, or say it's a 15-year friendship, whatever, because it doesn't have to be a relationship, right? It can just be a friendship. To have thrown out those memories, or to attach a negative emotion to those memories, is a disservice to yourself, because you're a part of those memories as well. Yeah. So you'll look back and automatically make yourself mad, sad, put a negative adjective there, and why put salt in your own wound, kind of, so to speak, right?
Absolutely.
Like, allow that to be what it was, and you remember it for what it was.
Yeah. I mean, burn all the shit, but but yeah, protect yours as far as like the like we said, the memories and everything. Yeah. Last one. Wait, is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Oh shoot. Okay. I thought that was the last one. I was ready to be like, and that was question. That was the 5-word questions. All right. Question number 5. Strangers constantly contrasts the men and women in Belle's life, both the ones who caused harm and the ones who offered support. Do men and women tend to process betrayal differently? Or do we simply give them different social permissions to express their pain?
We process it exactly the same, and we also give different social permissions. There's absolutely a double standard on both sides, for sure.
Absolutely. I hate that that's a thing.
Yes, I hate it, but at the same time, what I hate about it is that I don't think that everyone takes into account at every moment. And I get it can be exhausting, being that guy or that gal, but I think that it's much easier just to be like, I'm vindicated, so I'm going to feel like this. And I'm only going to talk to people who make me feel vindicated. And that helps me get over what I'm going through. And that's okay too. It's much more difficult to realize, like, oh, fuck. I'm mad. Let me feel vindicated in what I can feel vindicated in, and let me put this other stuff aside because it needs to be. And it's hard to do that, right? So who fucking cares? And in real life, when you're in the moment, it's almost impossible. I'm not gonna say impossible, but it's really rare. You have the people who can, the people who can't, and that's it. So in a situation like this, where there are double standards on both sides.
Yeah.
There's wins on both sides. There's negatives on both sides. And that's just pervasive, though. It's pervasive through all things, even outside of, relationship and sexuality, things like that. It's absolutely a thing. I almost feel like it's a handicap that we give ourselves, allowing ourselves to mentally process and live through situations. Not like I'm gonna die from a situation, but like you ever thought about a situation before it happened?
Every day of my life.
30 different times, right?
Yeah.
30 different ways.
That's how my mind works.
Exactly.
Exhausting.
Exactly. It's exhausting, but it's some kind of structure that we've evolved over time.
I've talked about that. That's because of that, my guys, social awareness, we do that. And I feel like that's why, for the most part, we avoid the pitfalls of not being aware in certain situations.
Yeah.
But it is, I will say, as your peer that also does it, it is exhausting to have to do that.
So I envy the people who just
can
fucking living,
just live it, just living, my guy. Yeah, I do too. All right. With that said. Now that is the 5 hard questions. That is the 5 hard questions.
Awesome. Those good questions. Good questions. It was actually a really good book, though. Like, it
was a solid book. And what I actually liked about this week, even though there was a little bit of for our listeners, there was a little bit of a paragraph for every question. What I did like about that was that I do feel like we were able to do a bit of a deep dive while doing the 5 hard questions.
For sure.
So I did like that aspect of it. The first one was too long though.
Yeah, that was a long question.
To the point where I was reading a sentence not knowing what words were being said. So we're gonna leave it in there just so you can have that part of it.
That's for you guys. That's just for you.
But yeah, what parts of this book do we want to cover for the deep dive?
Marriage is a mystery. It's interesting because that's like the main concept of the book. Strangers.
Yeah.
What were they? Osprey? What kind of, not Osprey?
I think that was.
Was it Osprey? The birds?
Yeah.
Obviously the modern love essay thing, you kind of covered that earlier. Yeah. I was not
aware of that.
So I'm glad that you said something earlier.
You should check out I know you're not gonna, but because we got time for that. But yeah, I did really enjoy that show. It made me, when that was brought up, I was like, oh, I kind of want to read more of these essays.
Yeah, and then the children, I think that should be cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the marriage and the mystery concepts are idea that obviously it's the main point of our topic of conversation for this book. It's interesting. So were things never what they seemed is a huge thing throughout the book, which is why I'm glad towards the end she kind of vindicates the fact that no, it is important to keep those memories that happened. Don't taint it, basically. Right?
Doesn't need to be tainted.
But throughout the the first parts of the book, you're right there with her, oh, this is messed up.
Yeah,
this is called business. Why is he so this? Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, and it took a while for me to understand what she was meaning, what she was getting at by like strangers. I'm like, no, you guys been married for 20 years. It sounds like you guys got a great relationship.
You were that couple.
You guys were that couple, right? Where people were jealous of you, that kind of thing. But I get it, where it's like you never knew. It's like she never knew him, or he never knew her, right? Because how could this happen if you guys did? How could it happen so suddenly? If you guys had an inkling of each other's, the way you guys tick, what etc. And for her, she ended up having to take a deeper look at his past to get a better understanding of what and why he may have done that. Although she's still not sure to this day, but she feels like she has a better idea. But she had to take a deeper look into his past and like his fears and stuff like that, which could have definitely motivated the actions that he took, and vice versa for herself. And not having to do that until you feel like a stranger is kind of an ode to what you were saying earlier, right? But so the Marriage of the Mystery thing is very interesting to me, for sure.
Yeah. Children in the Middle.
Yes.
So we already kind of tapped on the fact that, I guess for those that haven't read it, James, that's the name that she chose to use.
Yep.
His name's Henry. James decided to, like, right off the bat, I mean, and I do see, I mean, again, never know what his side of the story is. And I'm not putting that out as a caveat, but what was stated was that right off the bat, it was like, oh, I don't want 50-50.
Yeah.
And she said, even in the book to this day, there was no overnights. You know, he kept it. He was true to his word.
Thursday night dinner sometimes.
Yeah. You know, and then tennis and stuff. So I would love to hear the memoir from one of these kids.
And him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
absolutely
invested in this relationship.
Absolutely.
Now. I need to get, I want all sides. I want all sides. Not that I want to take a side. I'm invested like a movie though. Like, now I need the world building.
Yeah. Yeah. You just saying, we love the simplicity of not having to worry about the world building, but also, where's the world building? Now I want to know.
Now I'm booked. You know?
Chris asked me right before we started the episode if I looked into Belle, and I did right away. I was like, yep, I looked her up. I looked her husband up. I looked up, not the kid, not specifically like looked into the kids, but I just wanted to know more about the situation. And that's I guess that speaks volumes about how good the book was.
Yeah, it was very well written.
Yeah.
It was very well written.
Yeah. Screw you, Greg. How dare you tell Belle that she wasn't a good writer, because she's great.
Hey, sometimes people are, what do they call it, projecting.
Dickheads?
That too. Let's see. Protecting children while grieving yourself. Tough business. Because you want to, you know, and the kids aren't dumb. They immediately know what's up. You know, shit's changed. They're doing their own coping mechanisms or whatever. That's tough business right there, though. I think that it's a different kind of strength to be strong for someone else.
Yeah, especially when feelings are like heightened. Emotions are high.
You feel like everything's happening to you. You know what I mean? And so you almost want to happen back to the world, which that adds to like the vindictive or lashing out, or that's why it's so easy to dig into that side.
Imagine doing all this and being and going through puberty or handling middle school or high school. Ugh. Yeah, just get mad and throw that mic down.
Throw the fucking mic.
Throw the mic down.
But yeah, it's crazy. And, you know, sometimes that's why you see kids will act out or, you know, start tripping after a divorce or whatever. Like, it's a thing.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
I don't
know if it's going to be, well, it kind of, it does. Community, loyalty, perception.
Yep.
I don't know if that's going to be part of it but with Martha's Vineyard, they were part of a club, legitimately like a club.
Actual club.
Yeah, an actual club. To the point where at one point she is being told by a friend, we don't know who we're keeping in the club. And she's like, wait, what?
They said that she had to leave and wait like 3 years or some shit?
Yeah. She's like, I live here.
Yeah.
He left us. He doesn't live on the island anymore. And you guys are still So there's that, and then there's also like, you know, so many of the friends that, again, it's hard waters to navigate. You know, who do you trust? Whose story do you listen to? But what I liked about outside of the Martha's Vineyard community was her own, her stepmom, who she had a great,
Susan.
Yeah, Susan had a great relationship with her,
Yeah.
and she had a great relationship with her mom. She talked about, you know, she was very open that she does come from money.
Yes.
You know, he was not from money.
No, but he
found it.
He made bread over time.
He made bread more so than she knew.
Yeah.
But I did love hearing about her family as like socialites. That was super interesting. Finding out that, you know, her stepmom, I think her grandma, they were all like fashion forward, very much in the public eye.
Very much.
And with that, also dealt with infidelity. And she kind of had I love the question that kept coming back, or where she would refer to her situation to theirs, like, ooh, this broke them when it went public. Whereas with me, I'm making it public. I am writing this essay. I'm sending it out for millions to read.
Yeah, I think one of she says, conceptualizing it here, but she kind of says towards the end of the book that maybe they would have broken the generational curse, and you know, had they not interacted with it the way they did, right? Where it's more like, we got to keep this secret, we got to protect him. Let's, you know, that kind of thing. Where she's like, I'm gonna protect him, but I also have to get my piece out.
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah. Very true. Yeah, and I did love the sense of community, for better or for worse. I did this thing that I was like, ooh, was this, which I also understand, but was his sibling, I think sibling or siblings, and his mom.
There's like, oh yeah, we gotta be there for him. We can't keep talking to you,
which is fair. I get that. Yeah. I do get that. But this isn't a girlfriend. This isn't a short relationship. This is a 20. I currently house and am raising your nieces and nephews, your grandbabies. Yeah. And you cut me out?
You know, I think that's...
I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm
not saying it's right. I was actually about to say the opposite, because I'm not familiar with how other cultures deal with this. But in Black culture, not a thing.
Not a thing.
Unless they hated you from the very get-go and they hated you all 20 years, which in this fact they didn't. When you divorce, they're still part of the family.
Oh, that would make it so easy.
You're still part of the family.
Yeah, that'd be so much easier if you did hate those people.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
done.
Don't gotta worry about it.
This is not the case. They loved her. They loved each other 20 years. And and you know, in my life, nothing would change for Belle. Yeah. Right. So it's like crazy to read. Yeah. But hey, to each his own.
I knew you were going to say to each their. I was about to say, we should have said it at the same time. Yeah. We should have said it at the same time. Yeah, is there anything else? I feel like we hit just about everything.
For sure. There's more. There's a lot more to discuss, but I think it's better left unsaid.
Yeah, I think so too. I when we decided on this book, guys, I know, and I will say, I'll take it.
When I decided,
I will take the bullet. I know we've brought you through the trenches, and I've been trailblazing with this, and not in a good way, but bringing you down to the trenches of emotional damage, to the point where I almost pivoted. I almost texted you yesterday morning and was gonna be like, you know what, let's go ahead and do something else, just because it's been like heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. Yes. But I will say, I actually did. I thought this episode was going to be a heavier or like more downtrodden. Yeah. I actually really liked, and I think it's speaking to Belle. Yeah. How she handled it.
Yeah, for sure.
And the way she was deliberate in not being harmful in her writing, taking not emotion out, but
no, for sure,
but being aware of what emotions she was saying. Like, it was never like bad mouthing.
No, she was super intentional, right? And I think that really showed through in the writing. Yeah, it's well written. It's insane for that to be her first memoir, her first book. Like, that's insane because it's so well written. Like, but
yeah,
worth the read.
I hope she was bumping. Well, I know she was bumping Folklore by Taylor Swift. Oh, she also bumped Lemonade. That's why I wore my Beyonce shirt today. But yeah, that is and was and forever will be Strangers by Belle Burden.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Another episode.
Next
week, who knows?
We don't. I'll tell you that right now. We are coming up with a schedule.
Yes.
Because we got stuff going on.
Yes. How were we? We were more organized our first season.
We were.
Like our first 3 months.
Well, to be honest, though, we always talk about this. We did have the lost episodes. So we did have about 6-7 weeks of re-recording.
Yeah, spinning our wheels.
And a TBR that we could pull from.
That's true.
Which we still have. We very much have that, but we had one that I've read this book, you've read this book.
Yeah.
Or we had a ton that we read that we knew that you guys wanted to hear about. So now we're trying to keep up. As always, we want to know what books are coming out that you enjoy. We've asked you before. Guys, do it and tell us.
Thank you.
Damn.
Let us know.
And talk about your finances.
How hard is that?
Have the hard conversations.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks for joining us for another week. We will, I guess we'll see you guys next week.
I mean, if we have time.
Yeah, like why?
I might be.
Why break the cycle now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right, guys. Peace.
Hold up. Yeah. One time for my niggas, man. Mama said there be days like this. Mama said